back to another episode of Meeting the Members. Today we will be meeting with Mrs. Kerchner. So without further ado, let me bring her right in. Alrighty, and she should be joining us right now. Hello, Mrs. Kerchner. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Jonah?
Good. Thank you for coming on the show today.
I'm delighted, and it's very nice to see you.
It's good to see you too. So let's get right into this. So I will be asking you some questions today. Would you like to answer them?
Do I have a choice?
Maybe.
No, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. So for today, the first question is, how long have you been a member of the congregation?
A very long time. To the best of my memory, I would say about 43 years.
So 44 years ago.
43, I think 1977 we joined.
1977. So you've actually, you've been here actually a lot longer than my parents because.
Oh yeah.
Because 1977, you said?
I think so.
My parents would have been, they were born in 1972. They would have been 5 years old. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I have children your parents' age.
Oh, wow. It's hard to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Being old, huh?
Yeah. You're not old.
Okay.
Well, you've been here a lot longer than my parents, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is, what's your favorite thing about the synagogue?
We found early on how friendly and warm it was. And in fact, I came in actually through Sisterhood. I was invited to a Sisterhood event when Sisterhood was a very active organization, and made some of the friends who are my best friends now. I got pulled into working in the kitchen on kiddushes and catered luncheons, and just became friendly with people when they invited us and we invited them. And so we have been friends for a long time with.
Yeah, that's really good about our synagogue, is that it's such a tight community where everyone knows each other, and then it's not like big synagogues. You meet someone and then next day you forget them. It's kind of, you meet someone and then you put them in like the back of your brain and then you just know them forever. So then it's really easy to be like, oh, hey, we should invite this person to our little family reunion. So yeah, that's good. That's something really good about our synagogue. It's not too big, but it's not too small. It's a good size for us.
Right. Well, I have quite a contrast because because it's so difficult to get to Eitz Chaim now from Potomac. Soon after we moved here, we also joined B'nai Israel, which has about 1,200 families.
Oh, wow. Oh.
And it's very friendly. It's really a wonderful synagogue also, but it is very different being in a synagogue that size.
Wow. So will you tell us like what you do for your everyday job?
Okay, I have been working at the MITRE Corporation for many years. It's a not-for-profit systems engineering company. My background is in computer science. And so we work to help the government do their job better.
Ooh.
And I have worked on such things as the IRS.gov website. I'm working on an FAA project now.
So you're kind of like the boss of the government?
No, we're a partner. We're what's called brokers, because we're not like contractors who are trying to sell software or products. We're there to work on behalf of the government to help them. So we do many, many different things.
Yeah. That's really interesting. That's a pretty cool job. That's cool.
It is. And I've done many different things over the years.
Wow. This is the next question, which will be the last question, and that question is, what's your favorite prayer? Before you answer, sorry. I chose this question for the last because I think personally it's the most important question. I don't know about you, but for me, it's the most important question. But yes, what is your favorite prayer to read?
Before I answer that question, I want to add something to an earlier answer, if I may.
Yes, definitely.
Looking back, one part of the experience at Eitz Chaim that I think is very special is that because it is a small congregation, the students in the Hebrew school have opportunities to lead services, to participate much more than in a larger congregation. I see that difference with my Maryland congregation. We have
Yeah.
two sons who grew up in Eitz Chaim, and from the time I remember when one of my sons was 10, he was leading a Friday night service. And I mean, not that he is special, but not that there was something that special about his doing it, but they always had these opportunities. So by the time they had their bar mitzvahs, it was a piece of cake because they were so used to being on the bima and so familiar with the services. So that's a real plus for people who have kids in the school. All right, back to your question. I thought about that question, and I can't say I have a specific prayer, but when it comes to the service, my favorite part of the service is Hallel for two reasons. And I'm glad you asked the question because it made me think about it. I like the imagery in the prayers, in the Psalms, it's a series of Psalms, but even more than that, I find the music is beautiful, and it
Yeah.
makes me become more engaged and feel more spiritual.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that, yeah, but there's so much. I mean, when it comes to the holidays, there's certain Rosh
Yeah, there's so many prayers to choose from. It's kind of hard to just choose like one certain prayer.
Right. And I really learned all about the service from being at Eitz Chaim. I come from a generation where it was not usual for girls to go to Hebrew school.
Oh wow.
So I could not read Hebrew, or was really, though my parents were observant, conservative, belonged to a conservative synagogue, I was not familiar with the services. And I was in the first and maybe the last, I'm not sure, bat mitzvah class that Rabbi Bash conducted.
Oh yeah, because you were there during Rabbi Bash.
Right. So about more than 40 years ago, I had my bat mitzvah. And had,
Oh wow, that's crazy. More than 40 years ago.
right. And I wasn't 13. I was more than 13.
Yes, because
It was an adult class, but a friend of mine and I were the youngest people in the class.
wow.
So that's a very special memory that I have of the synagogue, that I had that opportunity.
Yeah. So thank you for being on the show today. I'm so happy I could be with you. I've learned so much from you today, and that I think that's really important from every single interview I have with people, is that I learn a lot from them, and I like that because then when for example, when I see you possibly in the future,
Okay.
we can go back to these conversations.
That would
And
be
then, so yeah, I think that's really cool.
great.
And thank you for being on the show, and hopefully we can see each other soon.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. So
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.